Hi guys, Candice Ayala here. I am a DIY sewer and upcycler and lover of all things fabric. I'm super excited to talk to you today about this relatively new fabric that Windham Fabrics now carries called Kantha. Two reasons I'm excited though. One, Kantha is a centuries-old form of embroidery quilt making originating in South Asia. So, being an East Indian myself, this is really special for me. My ancestors were from parts of South Asia and settled in the Caribbean and Central America during the slave trade. For my family, it was Belize. And as years went by, a lot of our Indian traditions and some aspects of our culture got lost and forgotten. So actually knowing that my lineage could be traced back to this type of sewing and embroidery work is really, really special. Now, for the second reason, which is also very exciting, Kantha means patched cloth. Traditionally, women would take their discarded cloth scraps from their saris and their garments and sew them together by hand with a simple running stitch using embroidery thread. Essentially, taking the old garment and repurposing it into something useful and practical like a quilt to keep warm on those cold nights. So pretty much upcycling. I'm sure you can imagine just how excited I was to discover that. Okay, now let's take a closer look at the fabric itself. So what's unique about Kantha is one, the fact that it's two layered, and I'll show you on this little piece of scrap. There's two layers of fabric. The front is usually patchwork, like this one here. If you look closely, you can see that there's several different squares and rectangular shapes pieced together. You can find that here. You can see that those stitching lines. And the back is just a basic solid. So each print would have a different color back. So for this one it's tan, there's black here, red, white, more tan and white. So whilst the front is very colorful, the back is very plain. So this one is pieced, but this one here is not. This is just one long piece of fabric with the embroidered straight stitch lines across. And two, like I mentioned before, Kantha is hand embroidered. And what's cool about that is that the people who are hand embroidering them don't use hoops or frames when they hand stitch, which gives the fabric a slightly wavy and wrinkled effect. And you can kind of see that here on the red. If you look closely, it has some wrinkles and some waves. What's really cool too is that the selvaged ends are also beautifully hand embroidered. So take a look at all of the edges here. They are sealed with hand embroidery. And this really adds to the intricate and unique look of the fabric. I feel like it really gives it something like a wow factor. For somebody who doesn't like hemming, that is like the least enjoyable part of a sew for me, hemming the fabric. I can appreciate a selvaged edge that is already finished. So now what can you use Kantha for? Well, you can treat Kantha like most fabrics, really, when it comes to deciding what to make. You can do the obvious quilts, pillow covers, jackets, garments, or upholstery. Pretty much anything you would sew with normal fabric. Let me show you what I did. So for both my sews are upcycles projects, and for the first one I kind of wanted to highlight the fact that the fabric could be reversible. And I also wanted to highlight the hem. So I made Abby a really simple gathered skirt. It has a flat front and an elastic in the back. But what's fun about this is that she's got one skirt, and I turn it over, and she's got another. You'll see on both sides the hem is really gorgeous. Now you might you're wondering how I enclose the raw edges for the side. I simply join the sides with a flat seam, and your insides and your outsides will look nice and neat. Now for my second project, I sourced handles and hardware from an old purse to create this super cute handbag. So for the insides I used the back of the fabric, so that kind of looks like the lining, and then I kept the mane as the mane. I sourced the handles and these magnetic closures here. So you can use Kantha for a wide variety of projects. The possibilities are endless. The fabric does measure 42 inches across, and Windham carries 6 different SKUs of Kantha, all that you can see here. Let's take a closer look at those. So here we have the black. This is what I used for the purse, so it's just a little piece. And this one was a straight solid fabric, so there was no piecing here. And the back looks like this. It's neon pink and yellow. Then there's this one that I created the skirt from. And this one, the top part of this is pieced. So if you look closer, you'll see different rectangles and squares pieced together. And the back is a solid tan. There's this gorgeous red. I'm thinking about making a jacket. Thinking about making a jacket with this one. It's so vibrant and colorful. And the back is a solid red. And there's this one with variations of white and brown and blue. And the back is white. And then there's this one, which is my favorite because I really like these pieces of bright floral here and here. This one's also patched, but with bigger squares, you'll notice. This one has squares and rectangles. And then there's this one that's white. And this is just one solid piece of fabric. This one is not pieced. And the other side's white. And there you have it. Those are all the Kantha fabrics that Windham carries. If you found this video informative, please hit the like button below or comment and tell us what you would make with Kantha. If you want to stay up to date with future videos, hit that subscribe button and notification bell so you don't miss anything in the future. Again, my name is Candice Ayala. Until next time.